This is a Saturday morning TV log from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Welcome to another Saturday morning TV log, and this time around it's Young Robin Hood, brought to us by Hanna-Barbera and CINAR. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm the Big D, and this is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So this week's Saturday morning TV log is Young Robin Hood, an animated series produced by Hanna-Barbera along with CINAR and France Animation. Debuting on the Funtastic World of Hanna-Barbera in syndication in 1991, the show takes place when Robin Hood is a teenager, Richard the Lionheart is on his first crusade, and Robin's father, the Earl of Huntington, joins him. This was Hanna-Barbera's second adaptation of the Legend of Robin Hood after 1972's television special, The Adventures of Robin Hoodnik. Now, the show ran for two separate seasons, but overall it was just for one whole season. Now then, Robin quickly finds himself at odds with the establishment, the Sheriff of Nottingham and Prince John, and creates a camp in Sherwood Forest with other youngsters. The only girl, Marion, is a ward of the sheriff and spy for Robin. The main thing about Robin's youth in this case is that his plans do not always work and he is occasionally questioned because of his youth. The fact that he is a known criminal and has no legal guardian to vouch for him. Each week, young Robin Hood and his allies take on the sheriff and other baddies. Now, I rarely do remember this because I never got to see this until Cartoon Network aired it and then Boomerang. I've seen it maybe one time at someone's house on Cartoon Network and then again on Boomerang. Now, of course, this was a joint production between Hanna-Barbera, you know them, and France Animation, and this was one of the first series to be from the organization, the animated company CINAR, which had been around since 1976. Of course, CINAR would later get well known for doing other shows later on, including Arthur, Zaboomafoo, and many others, before they were bought by Cookie Jar. Now, the animation for the series was produced by France Animation and Crayon Animation, while the overseas production services were handled by Field Cartoons, which was a subsidiary of Hanna-Barbera in the Philippines, and two studios in South Korea, Cyrone Productions and Big Star Enterprises. This was actually done, also co-produced with Antenna 2 in partnership with the Global Television Network, the Family Channel, which, not to be confused with the family channel we have here, which is Freeform. No, this is a different family channel from Canada. And Centre National de la Cinematography and Sovica Confirmatory. I'm sorry if I mispronounced these, but now you know about those. Now, I will say the show's atmosphere and animation feels just like an actual Hanna-Barbera show, even though it has other companies producing it. Now, the show has a decent set of voices and what have you, but I'm not quite familiar with these. Now, voicing the titular character is Thor Bishofrick. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. Apologies. Now, of course, he had also lent his voice to some other cartoons like Saban's Adventures of Pinocchio and Saban's Adventures of the Little Mermaid. Also, he had lent his voice to, let's see, Whimsy's House, which I think was also a CINAR production, but I could be wrong though, as well as shows like Marsupilami, Tales from the Crypt Keeper, the Ripley's Believe It or Not animated series, The Little Lulu Show, Sagwa the Chinese Siamese Cat, yeah, Siamese Cat, and Winx Club. Now, I will say this character is pretty good and what have you. Now, of course, Robin Hood is the boy in the county with a bow, and he rarely is beaten by other archers. As a nobleman, he understands Latin and has a tame hawk called Arrow, who is used to pass messages between him and Marion. Which we'll get to in a little bit. Voicing Lil Jon is Terrence Scammell. Now, he's done numerous voice acting work for some cartoons like Belle and Sebastian, which I've heard of, The Country Mouse and City Mouse Adventures, which would be a later series from CINAR. Let's see. Mega Babies, which I'm sure that's one of the most twisted and craziest shows ever. He was also a voice for Sagwa as well. Well, the characters as well as the sci-fi adult animated series Tripping the Rift. Now, Little John is a blacksmith's son and typically one of Robin Hood's most loyal followers, but is not above criticizing Robin's plans. Now, for others, which I'm afraid I can't figure out who they are, there's Alan Adale, voiced by Michael O'Reilly, a very young romantic minstrel, and Will Scarlet, voiced by Sonia Ball, who is a young talented thief who idolizes Robin and is a technical talent and creates traps and machines. Next, though, he's not Friar, but he's brother Tuck, voiced by Harry Stanjovsky, a very young monk, sometimes questioning his choice being an outlaw. He is very pious and speaks Latin every now and then. His Now, of course, this guy would later go on to appear in movies like The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio and X-Men Days of Future Past. He later went on to lend his voice to video games like Assassin's Creed and a couple titles in the Splinter Cell franchise. But he's done lots of other animated voices leading to various shows like The Country Mouse and City Mouse Adventures, Ripley's Believe It or Not, Tripping the Rift, Winx Club, and others. Unfortunately, he sadly passed away last year on July 18th at the age of 66. Rest in peace. Now then we have Marion, who is Robin's sweetheart and a ward at Nottingham, sometimes suspected of conspiring with him. She's voiced by Anik Mettern. I hope I'm pronouncing these names right, but if not, I do apologize. Now, of course, I'm not really familiar with this one though, but this voice actress, but she does pretty good. She's pretty good. And it's been years since I last seen this show, so bear with me. Then we have Hagala, a kind-hearted sorceress whose spells don't always work, and has a cat named Miranda. Hagala is voiced by Bronwyn Mantell, who has appeared in various films, and also she also provided the voice of Mrs. McGrady on Arthur. And she also lent her voice to Mother Superior in the animated film Ballerina, which to us in the US, that's the film Leap, which I definitely gotta review that sometime down the road. And then Prince John, who of course is a spoiled boy who whines about who should be king and sometimes tries to usurp Richard, but the attempts are thwarted by Robin or John's own ineptitude. Excuse me. He's voiced by Michael Rudder. Now he's done lots of movies, and he's also lent his voice to various animated series, such as The Legend of White Fang, Maya the Bee, The Mysterious Seas of Gold, The Country Mouse and the Sea Mouse Adventures, Arthur, as well as The Little Lulu Show and Arthur Spout, Postcards from Buster. So that's pretty cool. For the rest of the cast, we have A.J. Henderson as the Sheriff of Nottingham, a harsh man and good swordsman. And finally, Gilbert Gisborne, voiced by Mark Hellman, a lieutenant to the sheriff and has a crush on Marion. He often tries to win her over, and Marion uses it to get information. Gilbert has a dog named Bruno. Now, like I said, I rarely could remember much of this show, but I do remember watching it on Boomerang more than Cartoon Network. After an overall total of 26 episodes were produced and aired, the show ended on December 8th, 1991. The series later did get aired on Teletoon in 1998. And of course, it has been seen on Cartoon Network and on Boomerang. In late 1991, after the series ended but continued in reruns, Hanna-Barbera Home Video released 3 of the series episodes individually on DVD. Not DVD, VHS. I'm sorry, DVD wasn't around yet. I hate when that happens. Those episodes were The Wild Boar of Sherwood, Viking Treasure, and The King of the Outlaws. Unfortunately, for DVD, the series has not been released, and there are currently no plans, as much as I hate to say it. But anyway, Young Robin Hood, I feel like it is kind of pretty underrated and what have you. But of the whole, I found it to be a nice little show. And it's not too bad either. So, I will give it credit, and it does have some pretty good characters too, and what have you. So you gotta give it credit for that too. Now this is probably the best I can give you a shot of. Let me give you a good look at some of the characters if I can find one. Please stand by. Now I'm sorry, I had to show you half of this. Here's a look at some of the characters, and here's the rest. And you can see at the end we have the sheriff and Prince John. So now you know about young Robin Hood. Yeah, short-lived, but it's it's pretty good. Anyway, it's this would be a very difficult show to find to watch or stream and what have you. The only place I know of you could probably find this show would be the Internet Archive, since that's the only place I know of that would possibly have the full series. So that's your best chance of finding Young Robin Hood in its complete series. So there you have it. What did you think of Young Robin Hood? Did you ever watch this when you were growing up? If so, let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. And we'll have another video coming up for you later tonight. And remember, remember to vote for the 300 Saturday Morning TVLog, which will be coming up in 2 weeks. The winner will be announced on Wednesday, April 1st. Now, the poll's still going. You have 3 shows to pick for the 300 Saturday Morning TVLog. Here are your choices again. They are Freakazoid, Mr. Bogus, and Two Stupid Dogs. Now, again, whichever one gets the most amount of votes, most percentage of votes, before 11:59 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday, which is March 31st, the winner will be the winner, and I will announce it on April 1st for the April schedule. Whichever ones are runners up will be, well, you know, if if by any chance I see a tie, I will give a special announcement, details to follow on that. Okay? So if you like this, check out some of these other takes of Robin Hood I've recently reviewed. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Disney's animated classic Robin Hood from 1973, which be thankful it got its remake. Its remake got canceled, thank goodness. Or you can check out the upper right-hand corner for another take of Robin Hood, which actually came out right about the time this show came out, or it might have been the next year, and that would be Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner. Or if you would like maybe a different kind of well, action-packed show from Hanna-Barbera's Funtastic World, check out my Saturday Morning TVLog idea on Galtar and the Golden Lance from 1985 in the bottom left-hand corner. In the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TVLog. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TVLog is... Will the real Jerry Lewis please sit down? So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.